All
All
right,
right, what else we got?
We got
What
a
else we got?
topic here. I think this is a good one. This person says, I want to hear a counter argument to this. All Silver Series should be 3 rounds. All Elite Series should be 4 rounds. And all Majors should be 5 rounds.
Silver Series 3, Elite Series 4, Majors 5.
And then they were saying a cut after 3 rounds. So there would be no cut on Silver Series, but Elite Series and Majors would have a cut after 3 rounds.
Silver
I like
Series
a cut after 3. I like a cut after 2.
Yeah.
I don't like 5 rounds.
I think if anything's 5 rounds, it's
too
Worlds.
much.
Worlds would be
so long.
Worlds would be the only tournament that I think would have like something to set it apart. 4 rounds for Pro Tours and 4 rounds for Majors. I agree. I think that's what it should be.
3, 4, 4.
And I think cut after 2. Yeah. Now Silver Series, I mean, they are what they are. Like 3 round, 4 round. You can have a 4 round B tier. I think that there should be a standard for Pro Tours and Majors.
There should be a standard.
This might be a little bit of a hot take. And it actually might be it might be one that disagrees with what I was previously saying. Like not that long ago. I think there should be more 3-day events.
Really?
4-day events.
Why?
Yeah.
Explain it to me.
Money.
Oh, the money it costs to run 4 round events?
I think right now with where disc golf is right now, your most popular rounds are going to be Saturday and Sunday. They're always going to be Saturday and Sunday.
Hot take from Simon. Simon Lazat's in the chat. Unpopular opinion, Worlds should be 7 rounds.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It's very unpopular. It's a very unpopular opinion.
I'm with them. Worlds, if we're going to call a tournament the World Championship and it's going to rotate, the course doesn't set it apart, it's an every year event, and it's 4 rounds like every other major, why is that one? Why is the title?
How does that make financial sense?
This isn't financial sense.
Please.
This isn't financial sense.
Well,
this is
it's
prestigious.
a business. They're running a business.
The PDGA is a nonprofit. The PDGA is a nonprofit putting on Worlds. The PDGA isn't there to make money. Literally.
We saw what they did when they had to put on a 4-day event. You want them to put down a 7-day event now?
Yeah. Well, no. What I'm saying
Come on, Hunter.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to call someone a world champion, if you're going to call someone a world champion, that's a whole separate thing because that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant to this right now. If you're going to call someone a world champion and you're going to have so much prestige and so much weight with that title in a lot of ways sets you for life because you get names on discs, you get custom runs, bigger contract. So much comes with being a world champion. Why is it the same as every other event? Like, it's no harder to win a Worlds than any other event.
Why do they only play 1 game for the Super Bowl? Actually, you're right.
What?
There should be like 4 games for the Super Bowl.
No. What?
You're 100%. No, you're 100%
right.
right.
I agree with that.
How does a team get into the Super Bowl? How does a team get to the Super Bowl?
Playoff.
No, but
they
when
have
you
to go
get
through
to
a bunch
the
of
Super
people.
Bowl, but when you get to the Super Bowl, you only have to
NBA
win 1
plays
game against that team.
Playoffs.
You can't factor that. What are you talking about?
The MLB plays playoffs too. Why doesn't the NFL?
So does the
Super
NBA.
Bowl needs to be Super Bowl needs to be a 5 games. No,
Football can
5-game
never have a
series.
multiple game series.
Why not?
Because
Why
it's
not?
so physically demanding. That would have to take literally a month to get through.
Hockey. Best out of 7.
People lose teeth in hockey. Good
Best
call,
out of
Silas.
7.
We went
Point
over
to
this.
Silas.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so what's the bracket
It's
play
easy
for Worlds?
Tom Brady to
What's the
show up
bracket
and
play for Worlds?
4 quarters and win. That's easy.
So he played 4 quarters,
Do it
wins you a
over
Super Bowl?
16 quarters.
Do
it over 16 quarters.
Brody, use your sports brain here for 2 seconds. 4 quarters wins you a Super Bowl. That's it. Of course not. You played a whole season to make the playoffs and get good seeding. Then you played the whole playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. Then you play 4 quarters.
I mean, you could also be the Buffalo Bills and just lose by a coin flip.
Yeah, that's brutal. But I'm just saying, like, you can't possibly be serious comparing that.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Do you know why? Like March Madness is so long, or they have 7-game series? Do you know why they do all this thing?
March Madness doesn't have
stuff?
7-game series.
No. Do you know March Madness is super long though? It's like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. 64 teams.
Do you know why? Though?
I'm sure the root of it is money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also determining the champion.
Why would you want to run a 7-day event if you're theoretically losing money each day already? Why would you want to be like, hey, you know what we should do?
Are they losing money each day? I'd like to see that stat. I'd like to see that. Why was Worlds 9 rounds back when they were a much smaller PDGA? When they were trying to grow, why did they make Worlds 9 rounds back then?
How much money are they put? I watch coverage back there. You're not telling me they put.
The PDGA isn't putting money into coverage. The Disc Golf Network provides coverage.
I'm saying the actual event, Hunter. The money that it costs to run an event. Like, if you haven't been to a Disc Golf Pro Tour in a while, these are actually they're trying to make these into an event.
Sure.
They're spending money to make these look like actually events and not just like you're just showing up to a park. That's what it was. Like,
sure, but the PDGA and the Pro Tour are two different things. The PDGA is making money from sanctioning every tournament that's sanctioned. They get a fee off of every head. They have insurance being brought through every single thing. Every single PDGA member is paying a fee.
Company that we're talking about the company that was too cheap to spend. I don't even know how much it was. Was it $1,000? I can't remember what it was.
Yes, but you're looking at it from two different perspectives. The PDGA, they don't make their money running majors. To them, I do not see them ever thinking, we're not going to run this major because it's losing us money. That's not their goal. The major's a part of what everyone's paying for, right? Now,
tennis, golf.
Which one of those has a world title? The number one, you win it and it's your world championship.
Hold on. Tennis, golf, gymnastics, figure skating, billiards. I'm trying to think. I could probably get some more here if I think a little bit more. They all do the same thing, tournament to tournament.
Which one's a world title? Give me the world title.
Wimbledon is going on right now.
Is that the winner?
Wimbledon.
The winner of Wimbledon's a world champion.
It's a major.
Period.
It's a major.
No, not a major champion. World champion. Not a major champion. I would be on your page if the title of this event was the Players' Championship. But you're calling someone a world championship. It's way harder, in my opinion, to win.
World championship in cornhole.
What's it look like? Let's break it down. Do they do more rounds?
It's still bracket play, like the same as probably every other tournament.
How do they get into the worlds at cornhole?
UFC. You fight one time, you win the belt. Boxing, you fight one time.
How do you get to where you can fight to win that belt? You just show up. You step in and you can just win a belt.
Hold on. Point to you. UFC 5 rounds for
title fights.
All title fights, but also 5 rounds for also main event fights. So you lose a little. You got a point, but then you lost a little point because.
But I'm also confused.
There is that moment.
I'm confused because you've voiced wanting Worlds to be every other year to make it special. So if Worlds is every year, why wouldn't making it longer make it special? Because you agree, Worlds need to be separate and special.
No. Time. I'm not against. You guys got to doing 7 rounds would make it stand out.
Yes.
I'm not against that at all. I'm talking about simply from a business.
I still think he froze. From a business standpoint, I don't think the PDGA, when they run majors, they're focused on making money. Like the PDGA makes their money. I mean, we can pull up the actual audit of the PDGA they do every year. Their money's coming from memberships, sanctioning fees, all of that stuff. Sanctioning fees on the front end where you actually pay, $75 to run a B tier, and then $2 or $3 a head every single event. That's where the PDGA is making their money, and they're making a lot of money. If they lose $5,000, which they shouldn't, they should be able to run a 7-round event and still break even at least on a world championship, especially when you consider they're also running AM Worlds, where AM Worlds should be one of the most profitable events you run, in my opinion. But on Pro Worlds, if they're breaking even or they're losing a few $1,000s or something to put on an event and crown a world champion, that's a no-brainer to me. If it's just a money thing and it's we're not going to do it just because we're going to lose a little bit of money, it's almost like you might lose money for 3 or 4 or 5 years before it gets big enough. What do you think, Silas? As someone newer to the sport, would would Worlds feel more special to you if it was a longer event, or do you think just the title's enough?
I think the longer event would be cool. I mean, no doubt. It would make it. Brody just left the call.
I think his internet just completely crapped out.
Yeah.
His take was so bad it just crashed the Wi-Fi's
he's
internet.
Back.
Let me back in here.
You
Back in here.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Silas was about to talk, but Brody's hot. Brody's hot.
Here, man.
He's back.
All right. What the heck's going on with my? Hold on.
I think your take was so bad. I think you crashed the Wi-Fi.
How is it a bad take? I'm literally saying, from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense.
But
I never said it. I wouldn't say it wouldn't make.
You have to look at the PDGA as a whole scope.
What?
You have to look at the PDGA as a whole scope, right? The PDGA is a nonprofit, obviously, but they bring in a lot of money, and at the end of the year, their assets grow year over year over year. So if they lose, let's just say, how much money do you think they would lose at a 7-round event? Just rough estimate it.
Well, are they running it like a world championship? Because that's the other thing, Hunter. Are we talking about that? Are we talking about the fact that when you show up as a spectator, that the event looks exactly the same, and all you did is you just added a couple extra days? Like, if the event looks exactly the same as all these other Pro Tour events, then adding a couple. What is going on with my internet?
I don't know, man. Adding a couple days still separates it. If it looks the exact same as everything else.
You're going to tell me right now that if the World Championship looks exactly like Idlewild this weekend, that's not like a bigger issue that they should probably think about, of like, hey, how do we make this feel like a bigger event?
Sure, but that issue needs to be fixed at a 4-round event or a 7-round event. That issue's still an issue, no matter how many rounds you put on. I would say at a 7-round event, it at least feels special.
To do that my whole point is that from a business standpoint, it's the same thing when I've talked about MPO and FPO. Like having two tour events, or essentially two tour events at the same time, is way harder to manage than just only having to manage one. You're spreading yourself thin.
So
you see what I'm saying?
I have the PDGA's audit brought up. What would you expect their number one income generator? This is from 2019. I just Googled it, and this was the one I found. But
there's memberships. Isn't that their only revenue generator?
No.
Are they selling discs?
So the dues and membership fees in 2019, which obviously disc golf's grown a lot since then, dues and membership fees brought in $2.5 million for the PDGA. Tournament events, which is, I would imagine, the sanctioning of all of that.
I forgot they take a little kickback
from every event. $1.7 million. $1.7 million for tournament events. Merchandise, $147,000. Sponsors brought in an additional $99,489.
Wait, stop. What merchandise?
Merchandise.
Say it again?
Merchandise brought in $150,000.
What are they selling?
They have the pro shop at the course, and then you can buy stuff online through the PDGA. I would imagine. I don't know where Ace and Eagle Club would go in, but that might go in there.
Guys, I can't see the chat right now.
He's gone again. I'll keep going over the numbers. Investment earnings, I don't know what the PDGA is invested in. Investment earnings, an additional $2,000. Other income, this one's interesting. Other income, $311,281. So, 2019, the PDGA brought in a total of four. What?
Think again, baby.
I'm
back, baby.
You're not back.
No, you're not.
What do you mean I'm not?
Your camera's spinning. The total revenue without donor restrictions, so basically this money wasn't donated for a specific thing, was
buying stuff on the PDGA's website.
People do. You get discounts.
Who is doing that? Is there anyone in the chat doing that?
I don't know.
There's no way. I don't believe that.
So the total revenue without donor restrictions in 2019 was $4.8 million. Then they spent $3.35 on program services. They spent $1.16 on management and general expenses million. So they spent $4.5 million, and their assets increased $294,000 in 2019. And then you can see the breakdown of salaries, all of that stuff. If you actually
what are we talking about right now? What are you?
I'm
what are you
saying.
trying to?
I'm
trying
saying.
to explain to me right now?
I'm showing you that their money being brought in doesn't even have majors, Am Worlds, Junior Worlds, any of that even listed as an income source.